Okay. I'd like to call this meeting of the Muscle Shoals City Board of Education to order.
Thank you, Mr. President. I recommend approval of the agenda as presented.
All right, we have a recommendation by the superintendent to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting. Do I have a motion for that?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Thank you. I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? All right, no discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, and that motion carries.
All right, thank you, sir. I have no correspondence to report tonight, so we'll move on to Roman numeral 1 under business action items, the consent agenda resolution. And for the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed the item at a previous meeting. Consent agenda items will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If a board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. For the consent agenda tonight, we have the minutes from the June 28th regular meeting, the bills and accounts for June, the June financial reports, and those bank statements have been reconciled. We have the declaration of surplus items, as well as the course offerings for the high school and the career academy for the coming school year. We have a revised contract for school resource officers. That contract, of course, is with the city of Muscle Shoals. And then we will be setting the whole board training / board retreat for Friday, August the 20th, 2021 from 1 to 3 p.m. Does any board member wish to pull anything from the consent agenda? Hearing none, Mr. President, I recommend approval of the consent agenda as presented.
All right, we have a recommendation from the superintendent. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Thank you. So we have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And there's none, so the motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Under item B is approval of the 2021-22 school handbooks, Mr. President, and I recommend approval.
All right, can I have a motion to approve the 2021-2022 school handbooks?
President, I make a motion that we approve the 2021-2022 school handbooks.
Thank you. And so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have two of them, which is even better.
I was kind of waiting for sure, but.
So we have a motion in 2 seconds. Do we have any discussion?
Oh, she was.
No discussion. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There's none, so that motion is approved.
All right, item C, I recommend approval of the personnel report as presented.
Thank you. So we have a recommendation from the superintendent to approve the personnel report. Can I have a motion for that?
President, I make a motion that we approve the personnel report as presented.
Thank you. And do I have a second?
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? There's none, so personnel report has been approved.
Okay, for the benefit of the audience, the personnel report consists of the following under Roman numeral 1, reassignment to teams contracts. This is the Teacher Excellence and Accountability for Math and Science bill that was recently passed by the Alabama legislature. The following teachers will move to a 189-day advanced contract. That is Tamara Counts, Leella Holt, Chris Porter, Jenny Lee Cottrell, Victoria Lee, and Tina Mitchum. And the following individuals will move to a 189-day contract that is a preliminary contract, and that is Kathy Belote, pending certification, Carrie Johnson, Christina Porter, Karen Posey, Lori Roberts, and Mary Frances Rye. Under Roman numeral 2, resignation, Sedona Creekmore through the Community Education Program. Under Roman numeral 3, other special assignments or supplemental assignments. First, we have a correction, a clerical error from the June 28th meeting. That is going to be corrected on Hannah Vincent and her contract day assignment. Under number 2, 5 band staff to be paid for working band camp and throughout the school year in different assignments through the band program. Number 3, our radio broadcast crew for the football season, Tony Word, Clint Reck, Brian Lindsay, and Tim Underwood. Number 4, live stream crew, also for the 21 football season, Ray Pfeiffer, Ben Owen, and Thomas Martin. Special Ed PD Day Managing Crisis Safely stipend, Taylor Darden and Thad Looser. Saturday school staff, 2 employees for the school year, Blaze Larimore and Tanya Peoples. We had AP teachers, 9 stipends to be paid to AP teachers for the coming school year for additional instruction outside of the regular school day. Shonda Baguette, additional compensation for a 30-hour training at the request of the district. Melissa Bailey, part-time contract teacher of German at Muscle Shoals High School for the coming school year. Amanda King, contract teacher of science at the high school for the fall term, filling a leave of absence, a medical leave of absence. 9 extended day student aides, 4 extended day site leads and 1 substitute, 1 extended day enrichment counselor. And then you also approved the 21-22 athletic supplement schedule and the activity supplement schedule tonight. And I will not read all of those names. This is information only, not a board action. Kristen Fowler previously worked as an aide in our special ed pre-K through Kelly Services. She will be an aide at Webster for the coming school year. And then Haley Green will work as an aide at Webster also during the fall 2021 term as needed. And with that, Mr. President, that completes the personnel report. The next item on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Just a few things that I'll make mention of as we close out the meeting. First of all, I want to congratulate Mr. Dwight McGee, robotics teacher at the middle school, for being awarded a $1,300 grant through the State Department of Education for his classroom. So we're proud of Mr. McGee for applying for that and being awarded it. Also, Dr. Carpenter, our Assistant Supervisor of Student Services, has been selected to a leadership position with the Alabama Council for Exceptional Children, and I just commend him for seeking out that opportunity and accepting that leadership position at the state level. Also, I'd like to recognize Lacey Lake, our district's new mental health services coordinator. She's doing a fantastic job, especially, considering the fact that a year ago her job didn't even exist here. And she sort of had to build that plane as she flew it this year, but has just done a great job in doing that. And she will be leading an effort to implement a program called Rhythm in our district. It's a social and emotional check-in system for students. It's a part of her, the grant that we received for her position. We have to do something like this. Rhythm is just one of many programs that we could have implemented in our school system, but that's the one she felt strongly about. I think it's kind of the Cadillac version of that type of thing. So she's going to be leading that effort, and she will be turning some training around also with our counselors and administrative team in mental health first aid. She went this summer and became a trainer in mental health first aid. And I think that's going to be a really good thing for our counselors and administrators to do first. They're going to be sort of our guinea pigs in this turnaround training. And eventually we'd love to see more and more teachers and other staff members that receive this mental health first aid training as well. It's mainly, it's not obviously to train anyone how to counsel someone, but just things to look for, resources that you can point a person that maybe is in need of help. You can point them in the right direction and that sort of thing. So I'm interested to learn a little bit more about that. And then, of course, a week from today, believe it or not, ready or not, here they come, right? The employees will be back next Monday, August the 2nd, 2021. Obviously, you as the board are invited to come to Institute. If it works in your schedule, you're welcome to be here. We'll start bright and early, 8 o'clock in the auditorium. We are going to have a guest speaker, Mr. Brandon Fleming, who you guys who heard over the summer at your conference, just a phenomenal speaker, got a great message, especially about when you're faced with challenges and uncertain times and difficulties, and just a great message of how he overcame so many obstacles to get where he is. And so I'm excited for our employees to hear his message, but he'll be with us that morning also. Should finish up, before lunch at around 11:15, 11:30. So if you get a chance, come out and be a part of that. And then the rest of the week, the 3rd through the 5th, of course, will be work days / professional development days. We talked a little bit about that during the work session. Just a lot to do to get ready for our students to show up on Friday, August the 6th. And so it's going to be an interesting year, it looks like, but an exciting one. We're definitely excited to have our students back after the summer and after the year that we had last year with all those challenges. But we also know and recognize this year will have its own set of challenges, and we will face those things just like we did last year. And we accomplished a lot, I think, last year as as a school system, and we expect nothing less. But, we definitely thank, too, all of our employees who have done a lot of professional learning over the summer, thinking about, a lot of folks may think that teachers get the summer off, and that's just not the case by and large for most educators. I'll say it that way. There's a lot of professional learning that goes on in the summer in anticipation and preparation for the school year to open. In some ways, the summer months are some of our busiest months. It's a different kind of busy. You may not be at ball games and things like that as much, but it's definitely a different kind of busy. But we had a lot of folks I know that gave of their own time and their own effort to become better this summer professionally, and I certainly appreciate that. And with that, Mr. President, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Does any other board member have any business that we need to address before we close tonight's meeting? All right, since there's none, we have completed our agenda for tonight, and this meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.